Packer and Durham on a Friday. 844-SAY-ACCN. Tons of guests, though, coming your way between now and the end of the program.
Let's go to Chestnut Hill. We're going to do back-to-backs on the campus off Com Ave. Mike Gambino is a longtime baseball coach at Boston College, and this is a terrific cause every year. It's the ALS Awareness Weekend. The Eagles are in town. They'll host Virginia Tech for 3. They'll play 2 on campus, and they play 1 at Fenway Park, which is actually the 10th annual ALS awareness game. Saturday night, 6 o'clock at Fenway, which is incredible. Mike, great to see you. This is always just a special weekend, isn't it? I mean, for a lot of reasons. You honor Pete Frates, who was such an inspirational guy, but it's a bonding experience. I'm getting the impression for not just your team, but also, in this case, Virginia Tech joining you for this weekend series.
Yeah, it's a really fun and amazing weekend, and thanks for having me, guys. I really appreciate it. After we talk about Pete, I do want to go back to the rowing rankings, because I do think Coach Hollowell and our girls should be a little bit higher. I will tell you that we do have to maybe talk about getting you up here in the fall for the head of the Charles. Maybe come see that big regatta that we have in the Charles here, and maybe see Kelly Doughton's field hockey team for a little bit in the fall. But
Mike, you don't want Packer in a shell on a river anywhere.
You aren't. You are not a part of this conversation.
Sorry,
Coach. If it's an invite, I am in. I am in. Fine.
Head of the Charles in the fall. Coach Hollowell will host.
I've not met Coach, haven't spoken to him, but I am in. I'm in. I am in for that.
That's awesome. You'll love her. She's great. But going back to the weekend, yeah, we're really lucky.
Hold on a second. Wait a minute, Coach.
Oh, no, Gambino's in trouble.
As long as I'm not invited to the Boston Marathon, I would be out for the marathon. But anything on the boat, I'm in.
Deal. Done.
Okay.
Deal.
All right.
Got it.
Yeah. Great. I can hardly wait. Anyway, Mike, you
let's get back to more important things.
Yeah, more important things. I know what it meant when Elliott came up there, and obviously with the situation involving Chris Combs at the time and so forth. But now you've got Virginia Tech, who's having a great year, and tell me, I know what it means to your program, but it also seems to carry over to whoever you're hosting that weekend too.
It does. I mean, we're extremely lucky. First starting with the Red Sox, Sam Kennedy has been amazing, and the entire Red Sox organization from the moment that Pete got sick. And Pete's mission became obviously our program's mission, but the Red Sox as well. So, Sam has always said that this game is tremendously important to him and to their organization. And we can't be, I couldn't be more thankful to everything they do for us and for Pete. And then to have Virginia Tech here is great. I mean, the ACC in general, you talk about Chris Combs, Florida State's program has been affected by ALS. Louisville's program had a former player. Mm-hmm. So unfortunately, and Pete always said it, this is baseball's disease. And you see what Major League Baseball has done, and the commissioner with Lou Gehrig's day. Pete's mission has really, really spread. And it doesn't surprise any of us that were around Pete that he's been able to get here, to get this year. And then for Virginia Tech, the first trip Pete went on with us right after he got sick when he became our director of operations, Pete Hughes was still the coach at Virginia Tech at the time, and Pete Frates had played for him, so he came down there. So there's always been a close bond between the two programs. And Evo Shield, both of us wear Evo Shield, so Evo Shield has made some really cool straps to go on, strikeout ALS straps to go on the protective gear. DeMarini made a really cool strikeout ALS bat. Franklin, one of our other sponsors, made some strikeout ALS batting gloves for us. And it's just about, Pete gave us the directive when he got sick: raise funds, raise awareness, and the ultimate goal is to not have ALS games anymore. Right? That's the goal. And because of everything Pete and the Frates family and the entire freight train has done, we're getting towards that goal.
You know, Coach, Boston College has a really unique relationship, I think, with their community. It's not only this event that we're talking about and how that's touched so many lives, but you also got the red bandana game, obviously, in football for what that stood for. And it really does capture the essence of Boston College, doesn't it? I mean, big picture of people taking care of each other in times of difficulty. And, that's one of those kind of games this weekend that you circle. As soon as you come out with the dates, man, that's the one you circle. You say, you know what, I'm going to be a part of that this weekend.
It's true. And I think for anybody who went to Boston College, or really anybody educated by Jesuits anywhere, the idea of being a man and woman for others, it becomes ingrained into you. So I think people outside of the school and outside the program look and say, that's amazing that you're doing these things to help other people in whatever the aspect is. And it could be the red bandana game, and it could be an ALS game, but it could be the service trips that the regular students go on all around the world. But when you go here, it just becomes who you are, and it becomes part of what you do. And it's part of what makes the education here so special. It's part of what makes this athletic department so special. And it's, we're just excited to be a small part of Pete's mission and a small part of our overall university's mission.
It's great that the game Saturday night from Fenway is on ACC Network at 6 o'clock as well, following our coverage of the Virginia spring game. And you'll see every pitch of the ball game between Virginia Tech and Boston College. I want to dive into your team, but I want to be pretty particular about this. You have got arguably one of the most talented players in all of college baseball. Luke Gold's had a phenomenal year, just a sophomore, but a guy who is in some ways, if you know about college baseball, then you know about Luke Gold. However, a lot of folks know their team. They don't know necessarily the opponent. But this is a guy who has, is just going off the charts here, Mike, rather. He's just having an unbelievable year for you.
The kid can really hit. He can really, really hit. And it's fun to be around him. I had said to one of the guys doing one of the ESPN games last year, the worst thing to be when Luke Gold is around is a baseball, because he just hits baseballs so hard. And he's having a great year for us. And the kid's worked really, really hard on his defense. He's become a really good defender at second base. And we're used to and we're excited about the fact that high round draft picks and big draft picks, and we had $6 million in signing bonuses just last year coming off this team. So, that idea that these guys are coming out and making a bunch of money and getting to the big leagues is kind of part of our program, and it's really part of everywhere around the ACC. But getting a chance to watch Luke Gold hit is fun and special. And we got some other guys. I see that popping up right there. You had you had a shot of Joe Vitrano hitting a home run, and yep. With Cam Leary and Travis Honeyman, there's Cam coming up here in a second. This lineup is scary, and I really like the development of what's happening with the guys on the mound. So we're making progress. We're getting there.
Coach, when you see a guy like Luke Gold, at what point in time when you saw him like the first time did you go, man, he's just different? Or is it kind of evolved since he's gotten to campus?
A little bit of both. He actually had come to a camp when he was a freshman, and I guess right after his freshman year, and you're like that's special bat speed, and you could see how hard he hits a baseball, and then you kind of watch him and track him, and then you get a chance to know him and the family, and for us, getting these guys that are elite level baseball players, but the combination of elite level baseball player, elite level student, and elite level character is critically important with every kid that we recruit. So, you see him swing it and you get excited about it, and then you get a chance to meet the kid and meet the rest of the family. And I love watching him hit. I love having him in our lineup, but I'm also I'm just really lucky that I get a chance to be a part of this kid's life and have him and be around him every day.
By the way, they say hitting's contagious. Have you found that to be the case? When he grabs a bat, everybody's like, man, I can hit that thing now. Let's go. Throw that hanging curve. I'm going to slap that thing all over the yard.
Part of the problem with Luke, though, is he hits it so far that it goes when he hits balls to places, and everybody else is like, I can't get there. I can't hit a baseball there. I don't know what I'm.
Hey, in a interesting move, the Harrington Athletics Village was on the maps and on the boards for seemingly the concept was out there for years, Mike. I don't have to tell you that, right? and then all of a sudden it became reality. What's it been like now to have this new home field, this new ballpark, and also be able to welcome people back to it, right? I mean, be able to bring people in, let them enjoy the new facilities that everybody at BC worked so hard to deliver.
Yeah, and I cannot thank Father Leahy and the administration enough for the investment they've made. I mean, we were sort of talking about it with some of the seniors yesterday. Our seniors here, when we were recruiting them, we were on Shea Field, and although Shea Field was endearing in some ways, it was not a fun place to play and recruit to. So in the last 4 years, we've opened up the Harrington Athletic Village, which now, we got a ton of alumni coming back all weekend to the games Friday and Sunday, and they're excited to come back and see games there. And then, with the investment and now opening up the Pete Frady Center, unfortunately, obviously, COVID sort of slowed down the process of the opening and the naming, and we were finally able to do the dedication a couple weeks ago. But now, the first part of building this program, and when Pete was here, he and I talked about this a lot. He was a huge part in helping us, build both culture, but also grow in the program. But now to be able to bring our alumni and our recruits back and see the Harrington Athletics Village, to bring them into the Pete Frady Center, it's a really, really exciting time. And in some ways, it's like it's the same culture and the same values, but in some ways also it's like taking over a new program in some ways, and to be able to walk kids and recruits and families and donors and alumni through, and have a lot of pride in the name that's on the building, that's on the Pete Frady Center, and what it means to all of us.
Yeah,
Coach,
awesome.
before we let you go, again, always appreciate the time. We've asked coaches this question, and kind of curious to see where you're going to go with this. What is your walk-up music for you specifically?
I'm so glad you asked that one. I was worried you were going to ask about the toughest class. I know you go to that one sometimes, but
No.
I tell you what, I would go with this one. I don't know if there was a report years ago. There was false reports of Pete passing away, and the way that sort of Pete debunked that rumor was he put out a tweet. One of his favorite bands was Pearl Jam. Pearl Jam has actually been at the forefront of fighting ALS. Pete got a chance to meet Eddie Vedder, so he put out a tweet with just him and the song "Alive," and he put on the bottom the words in the words of my good friend Ed, and so I would go with "Alive."
Oh, that's pretty good. Hey,
a
little quick research here, Mike. The Head of the Charles is the third week in October.
Oh, that's a birthday weekend.
Is that your internet birthday or your real birthday?
No, that's my real birthday.
Here's the other thing, Mike. I've gone.
What's the date on this?
Well, this past year it was October 23rd and 24th.
Oh, how about me and Mrs. P, long weekend in Boston?
Easy, big fella. We ain't gotten you there yet. Okay.
Hey, you're not going to believe
dinner
this.
down at the North End one night. There you go.
Oh, you're going to take him to Limoncello? You going to do that too? Is that what you're going to do?
This might be the greatest interview
I might go
ever.
Fiore's, but...
Fiore's, Limoncello, and then why don't you take him by Mike's and get some pastries the next morning, okay? Why don't you do that too?
This is turning out.
We'll go to Bova's. We'll go to Bova's and get best cannoli you've ever had. We'll have a nice night down there.
I tell you what, you bring in Halfley and Pat Kraft, this could be the greatest weekend of my life.
Stop just a second.
It's my birthday weekend.
I'm in on that, and we can pass them the bill.
No, see, Kraft is definitely getting the bill. Mike, I'm with you on Kraft picking up the tab. And Pat, I know you're watching and you know you're paying. All right, here's the problem. The weekend that it was last year, this year, BC's on the road at Wake Forest for what could be a very critical game in the Atlantic Division.
Fine. We'll save some for Halfley and leave it at the front.
There we go. Once again.
And by the way, you're going to love this, Mike.
Oh, boy. Is he? Let's see.
I've already put Boston College in the top 4 in the rowing rankings. An immediate late bump.
Oh, really?
Just like that.
Just like
BC's
that.
in the top 4.
BC's going 4.
Like that.
I love it.
No,
Grace,
we got
Grace
live
has got those
pictures
girls going. I'm in.
Look
There
at this,
it is.
Gambino. We got live pictures of Packer working in the shell. Great. And it's Virginia, by the way, that he's coaching. So there you go.
BC's chasing them, baby.
All right.
I love
Hey,
it.
Mike, great to see you. Thank you, as always, for the time. And we'll be thinking of you and your program this weekend and what it means to Pete and the battle against ALS. Thanks, as always.
Thank you, guys. I really appreciate it.